Let's speak now to Jacques Reland. He is a senior research fellow from the Global Policy Institute, and he specializes mainly in French and European economic and social policies. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us here on Tier 2 World. Now, Macron just recently got reelected as president with a wide margin. What are some of the main factors that has proven achieving an outright majority in parliament is going to be tough for him?
It's going to be tough for him because first, he won handsomely, but against Marine Le Pen, and many people voted for him in the second round who had not voted for him in the first round and who preferred him to Marine Le Pen, but he was like a second choice for many of them. And they've decided now that they would use the parliamentary election to show that when they voted yes against Le Pen and not for Macron, and we'll try to find that there's a majority in the country who is opposed to his policies.
The center-right and the left-wing coalitions have radically different ideas on how to tackle various problems in the country, for example, like high inflation. What is it about the left that has appealed to voters?
And the left promises all kinds of things, promises that there will be wage increase, there will be price freezes, that everything will be all right, but it will cost that they will. The big issue for the left is the prime mover behind dynamism of the left is the issue of pension reform, i.e. Macron had announced that he wanted to postpone the age of retirement from 62 to 65 or 64, as he said. But actually, Mélenchon said that with me, you will have pensions you have a right to retire at 60, as it was before. So that is very popular because most people in France, especially people, younger people, don't like the idea of this big pension. So that's one of the big political factor, economic factor, social factor behind the strength of the left.
So what happens if Macron doesn't get an outright majority?
France, is a very difficult country to govern, even when you have a full majority, as was shown with the Yellow Vest crisis a couple of years ago. So imagine what it will be like when you have to govern with a relative majority and hope to get a consensus from the opposition on some of the reforms. You will have here, it is expected the left, who now has around 40 MPs, is expected to have between 160 and 190. And it's a very vocal, raucous opposition. They will not leave the government in peace. They will try to do everything to upset its plans. The National Front will be in the same mind. So Macron has very little support outside his majority. The only people he could count on in order to back some of his reforms would be the Republicans, who might get 40, 50. They were completely wiped out in the presidential election. Valérie Pécresse only got 4%, but then they could expect to have 40 to 50 MPs, which would force Macron to compose with them and therefore lean more to the right than to the left.
Well, we're following those elections really closely here on Tier 2 World, and we'll bring the results of those elections later on in the day. Jacques Reland, thank you so much for joining us here on Tier 2 World and sharing that analysis with us.
Okay, pleasure. Thank you.